Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a good morning. We're just gonna check out the latest state of the South here as Winter Storm Viola is moving through. Yes, another winter storm that's bringing additional ice and snow to these areas that were already impacted from the last storm. Jeez, what was it? Oh, I'm having trouble even remembering. Oh, yeah, Winter Storm Yuri. Yeah, it really impacted these same areas. Right now, we have winter storm warnings all across eastern Texas, eastern Oklahoma. I know last night it was more central Oklahoma. That just tells you that the storm's moving out of the Midwest, slowly. But there are still millions without power at the moment. They may not get it back. The power may not be restored until the coming weeks here. Arkansas, virtually all of Arkansas is under winter storm warnings, as well as northern Louisiana. Cities like Shreveport are going to be affected. Along the Texas-Louisiana border, northwestern Louisiana and eastern Texas, a lot of ice and snow there. It will then move on to Tennessee, as well as parts of eastern Kentucky. Really, all of Tennessee. I'm remembering last night I was checking out these warnings and watches. It was more so in the western portion of Tennessee, not so much central and eastern. So it just tells you that it's really getting closer to the mid South now, as well as Kentucky, West Virginia, and Virginia. Now we're getting to see all of these winter storm warnings. Much of Virginia, West Virginia is in effect. All right, so if we take a look at if we take a look at the GFS model here, we can see that in the next few hours it's going to be traveling through eastern Texas here. You can see a lot of that mixed precipitation here, as well as ice in the northeastern part of Texas, mixed in with some snow as you get more north. Much snow right now in northern Louisiana, as well as much of Arkansas, as we were seeing. So as you can see, the snow is really just blanketing the state, as well as Missouri. A lot of snow in these two states. Not too heavy. It's more so heavy in northern Texas. That's where some of the heavier banding is going to be in place. As we move on here, it's really going to be moving to Louisiana. A lot of freezing rain here in northern Louisiana. Some mixed precipitation here in southern Louisiana. By this afternoon, it'll be moving on through Louisiana. Much of central Louisiana is going to be in this, as well as northern Louisiana. They're going to be experiencing a lot of freezing rain. So there's going to be ice accumulation on really any surface here, and make it up to like a quarter of an inch. They've already gotten snow from the last winter storm, so they really don't need it, as well as Texas. Many people are also without power in Louisiana. I don't know the exact number. I can't tell you that right now. So I'm sure it's at least 100,000. Alright, I just checked. As of 8 p.m. yesterday, there are at least 120,000 power outages statewide. So as you can see, there's ice here. It's building up on the power lines, forming on trees. It's causing the trees to fall over onto the power lines. It's a mess. This evening, we can see it really moving into Mississippi now. All of this icy weather is what mixed in with some snow. You can see the rain snow line here in northern Mississippi. You can see where that's set up. They're going to be getting more snow in northern Mississippi, especially in northwestern. You can see that darker blue banding here. That's where the most heaviest snow will be, around this rain snow line. So we'll be getting much heavy snow here around southeastern Arkansas and northwestern Mississippi, on the Arkansas and Mississippi border, really. That's where they're going to be seeing a lot of that heavy snow. So this evening, by later this evening, getting into tonight, you can see it really moving through Tennessee here. Still, much of it in northern Mississippi, central Mississippi, still seeing that mixed precipitation. Lots of ice just going to be dumped here in Louisiana, Mississippi. Roads are going to be covered. They've already had many different accidents, especially here in Texas. Dallas, Fort Worth area, you heard about the 100-vehicle crash. And again, it was from the last storm, but it's just going to be additional ice that they've already seen. So, many without power in all of these states. So millions here in Texas, hundreds of thousands here between Louisiana, and I'm sure it's going to be more in Mississippi as it moves on through. So yeah, central Tennessee, eastern Tennessee, and these higher elevations, Appalachian Mountains, they're receiving some of the snow here. Even moving into Kentucky by this evening. Some of the outer bands may even reach Illinois here. By tonight, you can see it really starting to move to Kentucky, Tennessee, especially northern Alabama and southeastern Tennessee, they're going to get some heavy snow here. I'll talk snow totals after this. I'm sure they're going to get up to like 3 to 5 inches. I wouldn't really be surprised because this is a lot of snow they're going to be seeing at this time. As we move into the night, in the next 24 hours, we can definitely see some snow here gathering up here in Kentucky, West Virginia. All these higher elevations, you can see it where it gets darker here. That means much heavier snow in the higher elevations. I'm sure they'll get much more accumulations as well. Even in the Indiana, Ohio Valley here, seeing a lot of this snow. Although much of the heavier snow is going to be here in eastern Tennessee, as well as the ice. North Carolina, western North Carolina, much of Virginia is also going to see this ice as we move on here. As we get into the early hours of tomorrow morning, Thursday morning that is, you can see a lot of this freezing rain and mixed precipitation here in North Carolina, set up in Virginia as well. Still most of West Virginia and Northern Virginia will see a lot of this snow. Although this will transition over to freezing rain as the temperatures warm up as we get into tomorrow afternoon. Still tomorrow morning, seeing a lot of this snow. As the sun rises, we're seeing a lot of the snow gather up here in Virginia, northern North Carolina. You can see this right here. It's going to be very icy. It's going to be a lot of ice accumulation. I know the ice confidence is very high here, up to 1/10 of an inch here in Virginia. Yeah, it's going to be a mess here in Virginia, almost like we've seen in Texas. Although I'm pretty sure the power lines are more durable here, because at least they're used to this. They're relatively used to this weather more than Texas is. Move into tomorrow at about lunchtime. See a lot of this mixation still heading northeast. That's what this winter storm's going to be moving here. Some of the outer bands, some of this lighter snow, going to be all across Ohio. May see 1 inch to 3 inches, I'd say. Much of Pennsylvania, especially southeastern Pennsylvania, getting some of this heavier snow, as well as southern New Jersey. In my area, in my area, they're predicting snow. In Atlantic County, where I am, they're predicting 1 to 3 inches. I think CM may transition over to freezing rain here by this time, by tomorrow afternoon. By tomorrow morning, they're predicting a decent amount of snowfall from my area. In Delaware, you can see, like I was saying earlier, the snow will transition over to freezing rain, as well as New Jersey here. Virginia, really the whole state, is just going to be impacted by ice. Yeah, you're going to be really getting ice for a good portion of the day. Northern Virginia can see some snow, but it is really just going to switch over to freezing rain. Snow continues to move on through New Jersey, northern Jersey, New York City, Philadelphia. These are the cities that are going to be impacted by this snow. Even some ice here as that moves up through Virginia. Most of Virginia is still seeing this ice. It's going to be an icy mess here, just like it was in Texas. You can see that this polar vortex. You can see this track that's moving on here, where these winter storms are heading. You can see this dip in the jet stream here. That is just, it's such an instigator for these winter storms to just move on through the south with this polar vortex. Usually they head over here to the northern plains and the northern Midwest, but now with this polar vortex set up, they're moving through Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and it's just dumping large amounts of ice here that they're not used to. So, by tomorrow afternoon, we can see it starting to continue to move on through the northeast, Pennsylvania, Ohio, even upstate New York here, around the Great Lakes region. Yeah, they're seeing some of this snow. It may be some of the lighter snow, but lake effect snow is really, I wouldn't say it's out of the question. Northern Jersey still seeing some snow. Southern Jersey seeing a lot of this freezing rain. That was here in Virginia, still in Virginia here by this time. Some of this more icy weather here in northern Virginia. Let me look at that. By tomorrow afternoon into the later hours, you can see most of New Jersey starting to switch over to freezing rain. Virginia still seeing this mixed precipitation. It's going to be relentless throughout the day on Thursday, by tomorrow. By tomorrow evening here, getting into the later hours, still moving on through Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Southern Jersey now just seeing some steady rainfall, as well as southern Virginia. Now some of this mixed precipitation, by tomorrow evening, most of the mixed precipitation will be set up here in Delaware, Maryland, and DC district. Some of the higher elevations here in eastern Pennsylvania may see some of this heavier snow as well, like the Poconos. By tomorrow evening, getting into the nighttime hours, seeing a lot of this snow starting to fall here in Massachusetts, Connecticut, affecting cities like Boston, Harvard. Again, places that were already impacted by the last winter storm. Literally a few days ago, just last weekend. They It's got lots of snow from Winter Storm Uri, especially cities like Boston. They really don't need any more of this snow. Even New York City, I know they got a few inches. And Winter Storm Shirley, that dumped up to a foot of snow in the New York City area. I'd say this is around Friday morning, late Thursday night, in the wee hours of the morning. You can see some of this rain finally starting to move off the coast here. Some of this mixed precipitation still sticking around here in New Jersey. Mostly light, not like it was in Virginia where it'll be heavy. Mostly light, and I don't think the ice will accumulate as fast as it did here in Virginia and Maryland. But most of the snow moving on through southern New York. That's where you're going to see most of the snow around the New York City area. That, again, that's where that main stone line is going to be. You can see it right here around central New Jersey. So, central Jersey. A lot of this heavier snow going to be right over here around Connecticut and New York. Now this is around Friday morning. It's finally starting to move out here, getting into the New England area, New Hampshire, Vermont, New York. Seeing some of this larger snow. Although the heavier snow will be down here, close to the rain snow line in, as I said, Massachusetts. Getting into Friday morning here, the sun's coming up. See some of this rain here, really off the shore here. Surface low pressure off the coast of Jersey. Still seeing some heavier snow here in Massachusetts and the New England area. Here in New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine. Although the snow won't be as heavy as it was here in Kentucky and Tennessee. That's what we're mainly worried about right now, as they're not really used to this weather, especially Texas and northern Louisiana. That's where a lot of this ice and snow is going to be set up. That's our main focus point, because those are the areas that are already impacted where they have millions without power. Still moving off the coast here. By tomorrow at lunchtime, tomorrow afternoon, still moving here through the New England area. Should move out though by not tomorrow afternoon, Friday afternoon. By Friday night here, it's really moving off the coast here of New England. Area of high pressure here, bringing in some more colder weather, along with this polar vortex. So I feel like it's going to be bringing some colder weather here into the northeast. So it's going to take even longer for the snow to melt, as well as the ice here. So, if you take a look at the European model here, right now you can see a lot of this freezing rain and snow set up. Here. The snow will mainly be in northeastern Texas, while the freezing rain will be along the coast, the Gulf Coast, like it was a few days ago. Yesterday, I mean. You can see on Tuesday, it was really here around Texas, southern Texas. You can really see some of this heavier snow here in Oklahoma, especially cities like Oklahoma City, getting, I'd say, 3 to 5 inches of additional snow that they've already seen from Uri. So, yeah, so Texas really isn't the only state with power outages. Oklahoma is another one that has really been impacted by these past few winter storms. Like I said, it's been moving right on through here, through the southern plains, in the southern Midwest, Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana. Snow's moving through here, especially some of the heavier snow around eastern Oklahoma. That really passed through Oklahoma City. That has been experiencing very low. I'll talk temperatures after this. So remember, just keep in mind, it's the European model. Seeing some heavier freezing rain here in southeastern Texas. Seeing some of this rain snow line here in Louisiana. Some of the heavier snow is going to be over here in northeastern Texas. Most of Arkansas, as the other one was showing. As the GFS model was showing. Very much mixed precipitation here in Louisiana, like we saw on the GFS model. So Louisiana is really going to be seeing much of this ice stuck on the roads, surfaces, like tree branches, power lines. So going to be many, like I said, there's already 120,000 people without power in the state. Yeah, so here's this rain and snow line here. You can see the purple. Much of ice forming there, and very, very northern Louisiana. You're also seeing some snow here in southern Arkansas. A lot of this heavier snow here right outside this rain snow line. Moving to around late tonight and tomorrow morning, Thursday morning, seeing a lot of this heavier snow here in northern Mississippi, Tennessee, moving into that area. Here we can see heavier snow here in eastern Tennessee. Some of the mixed precipitation here forming along this line. Although I don't think there's as much as the GFS model was showing. It's really going to be forming here in eastern Tennessee, as the other one was really in North Carolina. Let me just move it. This is about tomorrow afternoon, after lunchtime. Yeah, here it is. You can see it really starting to form here in North Carolina, southern Virginia. Western Virginia is seeing some of this more harsh ice and freezing rain. So yeah, more mixed precipitation here in South Jersey. It's just going to be moving on through here by tomorrow evening. So some of the mixed precipitation still sticking around in Virginia. So I feel like the GFS and European model can do come to an agreement here. Some of the snow here in the Ohio Valley, of course, some of the lighter snow. Although I feel like there's much heavier snow here in New Jersey and Connecticut. Not as much snow in central western Pennsylvania here, as well as New York. I'm not seeing. Let me just go back a few hours here, see if I missed it. Yeah, some of the more heavier snow is going to be more east than it is on the GFS model, where it'll be more west. Move over here to tomorrow evening, to tomorrow in the late night hours. Seeing a lot of this snow beginning to move off the coast. Not as much mixed precipitation, I feel like, in Virginia. This model was shown. I don't feel like it's showing as much. Some of the mixed precipitation is still going to be in place here for New Jersey, southern Jersey. We're going to see how that goes. I'm going to try recording it. I know last week, I'm pretty sure it was part of Winter Storm Uri. Yeah, that's what it was. And we got a lot of freezing rain here, as well as ice. A lot of ice building up on different surfaces. I saw it building up on this. Really, just icicles hanging off of mailboxes, cars. Cars were just covered in ice, as well as the roads, benches. Yeah, even the tree branches. That video should be out by either tonight or tomorrow. Some of the rain here finally moving off the coast. Much of Pennsylvania, central Pennsylvania. Here's some of the snow moving on through, as well as Massachusetts, Connecticut, cities like Boston. Like I said, Boston, New York City, Philadelphia. Philadelphia should be seeing some more mixed precipitation and freezing rain than snow. Although we'll still see some snow, maybe a good inch or two. New York City will actually see some more snow here. They may get up to 3-4 inches, so I wouldn't be surprised of additional snow. Freezing rain moving on here to Virginia, Maryland, southern Jersey. Now this is around Friday morning here. Beginning to move out, still in New Jersey. Bringing some snow to northern Jersey. It's going to be lasting here for around Thursday and Friday. That's when the snow is going to be in place here for Jersey, in my area as well. Although on Friday we could see some more of the mixed precipitation, and on Thursday we could see some more snow. That's something I'm looking forward to, because we've been getting some high temperatures recently. We had some warm front that was coming through yesterday. They really melted most of the snow. Heading into tomorrow, Friday afternoon, see it finally moving out here. It's finally moving out of New Jersey. You're seeing some lighter snow by this point, by Friday afternoon. Really seeing it moving out here. We have a 60% chance of snow on Friday, and a 100% chance of snow tomorrow. So that just tells you that we're going to see more snow tomorrow than on Friday. On Friday, it'll be either lighter snow. It'll go from mixed precipitation to lighter snow. Finally moving out here out of the New England area. Some of the heavier snow still here in coastal Massachusetts, Rhode Island here, portions of Rhode Island that'll also be affected. Cities like Providence see some snow, good snowfall. Surface low pressure will be farther north, off the coast of Massachusetts and Maine, moving out here. And that should be it. Alright, so now if we look at the temperatures at the moment. Here's some of the wind chills right now. You see across Texas, they're in the low 20s into the teens here in northeastern Texas. Oklahoma, pretty much the same thing, into the lower teens and even into single digits here in central Oklahoma. As some of the snow is on the ground, causing insulation, not able to heat up the ground. So it'll really just be colder temperatures here with this polar vortex in place. Next week, they're predicting that this polar vortex will finally begin to move out. Northern Louisiana into single digits, as well as most of Arkansas. Here in southeastern Arkansas, where they just saw, we're going to be seeing most of the snow. Right now, it's actually falling pretty hard. Seeing these lower temperatures into the negative temperatures below zero, single digits just slightly above zero. Like I said, a lot of snow on the ground, causing insulation, which drops temperatures as the sun is finding it very hard to warm up surfaces. Northern Mississippi, they're also going to be seeing much snow here. Wind chills, and keep in mind these are all wind chills. Negative temperatures here in Mississippi, as that wind blows. Western Tennessee, negative temperatures. Western Kentucky, still seeing some negative temperatures. If you look at the sorry, that was wind. If you look at the steady temperature here, sustained temperature, around 20 degrees, lower 20s, into the 30s here around southern Texas, around the central southern Texas, around the Mexico border, yeah, in the 30s. As we move here where most of the snow is going to be in northeastern Texas, it's into the teens and lower teens. Here along the Louisiana and Texas border, so we're going to be seeing most of the ice into the upper 20s, almost hitting freezing point here around this area, so it's going to call for some more ice. They also have warm winds aloft, so that's also going to create more ice. Even though the temperature is going to be cold enough, it's still going to bring freezing rain and mixed precipitation. They're going to cause much ice. Still seeing some teens here, and Arkansas seeing temperatures around 15, 12 to 10 to 15 degrees here. Western Tennessee, it's very cold here. I know Memphis last night got into this negative temperatures. I think I heard the wind chills are at like negative 20. Very cold here in Tennessee, especially Western Tennessee, cities like Memphis are. Kentucky here, Lexington's going to be another city affected by this. They may see a few inches of snow, a lot of ice in the city, as well as Nashville. Yeah, a lot of these cities were just impacted by this ice with Winter Storm Uri. It's just one after another at this point due to this polar vortex. West Virginia, still here in the teens, around 10 degrees, especially in the higher elevations where they're going to see most of the snow. Very cold here in Wisconsin, Illinois, and the Great Lakes region. Yeah, all of it it's going to be in the temperatures below zero. See some of the total accumulated snow here. Like I said, we may see a few inches here around Louisiana. About 1 to 5 inches here in Oklahoma. It really depends. Eastern Oklahoma will see some more of the snow. It's seeing more of the snow right now as it moves into Arkansas, as well as the snow is really set up right here in eastern Texas and Oklahoma, moving into western Arkansas and northwestern Louisiana. That's where most of the snow and ice is set up right now. Like I said, still millions without power in Texas here. They're all waiting for this power to be restored. It may take weeks, unfortunately. So 1 to 3 inches here in eastern Oklahoma. Possibly, I'm predicting 5 to 8 inches. I wouldn't be surprised if 5 to 8 inches here around Little Rock and really south central Arkansas. Northwestern Louisiana, Shreveport may see a good 3 to 5 inches. Shreveport. Move here to Tennessee and Kentucky area. They may see some good snowfall. Possibly, especially in the higher elevations, they can possibly. I'm predicting around 5 to 8 inches, as well as Kentucky. Although Western Kentucky may see about 1 to 4 inches. Really, again, it really depends on the area because it'll be a very narrow line here. Really around this rain and snow line, that's where they'll be seeing most of the snow form. The heavier bands of snow, that's where they will be set up across the rain and snow line. So if you're in that area, close to the rain and snow line, you'll be seeing more of the heavier snow here. Check out the NAM radar, or NAM model. Very heavy snow in portions of Oklahoma, northern Texas. By this afternoon, snow moving out of Oklahoma into Arkansas. Heavier snow here. Especially around northwestern, just western Arkansas, although it will really just consume the whole state here in the coming hours. As you can see here, it's really starting to move across Arkansas, especially southern Missouri. They may see a good maybe 1 to 5 inches in southern Missouri here. More to 5 inches will be in Arkansas. I'd say 1 to 3 inches really in Missouri, as most of the heavier snow will be in Arkansas, just sneaking in here to Missouri, although it will be moving here across the northern Arkansas and southern Missouri border. Then it will move into Tennessee and Kentucky, bringing more ice to those areas that they are not used to. So at the NAM radar, I can also agree with the other two, where we have most of this precipitation here, moving into Louisiana. So sleet will really be set up here in northern Louisiana, as well as freezing rain. Really just coming together here around Louisiana and central Mississippi, as we saw in the other two models. Up central Mississippi, northern Louisiana, seeing a lot of this freezing rain. Even though temperatures will be cold enough, but we have this warm air aloft mixing in with this polar vortex, which really just causes an icy mess. So a lot of this heavier snow here in Arkansas. They will not really see a break until Thursday. So moving on through here, it really just stretches out into Kentucky, Tennessee. Still does precipitation and sleet set in here for southern Arkansas at this point, northern Mississippi. Um, this is around tomorrow morning, Thursday morning. So yeah, here's all the warnings and advisories we have set in place. As you can just see from this, I mean, the other day, the whole state of Texas, before it really moved into the southern plains, it was over here. It was set up over here in the west, in the Four Corners region. I'm sure you guys have seen it. I posted it on my Instagram, weatherman underscore 315. I posted a picture of the winter storm warning set up all across Texas here, in every county, in Texas. So I'd say you just knew that this storm was going to be a big one. Winter Storm Viola, bringing much of the ice and snow to regions that just aren't used to it. All of Arkansas here, Tennessee. You're moving into the northeast New England area. Much of the mid-Atlantic seeing some of the sleet and mixed precipitation. It's going to be some icy weather here, as well as the snow in the New England area. So, hope you guys enjoyed this update. I'll keep you updated on this storm if I see anything new happen. Hope you guys enjoyed this. See you in the next update.